What's up, guys? Back for another Honkai Star Rail video, and really quick before we get into the tier list, I will say that the Firefly animated short, it's 6 minutes, is out. Normally I would react to it, well, I guess not normally anymore, but I feel like react content doesn't do good enough on my channel, so let me know in the comments if you want me to react to this kind of stuff. I do plan on getting a camera at some point, so you actually have a facial reaction and not just me talking over it. So let me know in the comments if that's something you want, and I'll start doing them again. I will say this one has to be madly, insanely popular because in 20 minutes, it's already at just about, you can see in the top right where it says 69k because I like the Mr. Beast extension thing. It's almost at 70k in 20 minutes. Hello? Yeah, Firefly is definitely the most popular character. Anyway, let's jump into the Honkai Star Rail tier list. So, this is not ordered in any way, shape, or form. If you don't agree with me, let me know in the comments what you disagree with. Don't kill me. I know for a fact 10 of you have already hit this the dislike button, and if you did that, you're losing your 50-50 on Firefly. So I better see that. I better see the like pop up right now. I can see the dislikes, right? So let's see how many people. I'll let you know in the next video when I summon for Firefly how many people are losing their 50-50 with the dislike, because people will be like, oh my god, you have my favorite unit, Dr. Ratio, at like, let's say out of 10 he's a 9.7 when I think he's a 9.8. Yeah, crucify him. Like, okay bro, relax. I like to think I know what I'm talking about. So in game breaking, we have Acheron, Black Swan, Ruin May, Robin, Sparkle, and Adventuring. The reasoning for this is Acheron, the hardest hitting character in the game. Black Swan has so much utility and she's so good in pretty much every single game mode. You can run her normally, you can run her with dot, you can run her just for the defense lowering, you can run her for the extra damage she does with the stacks of, what was it, Arcane? I'm blanking. I haven't looked at her the actual name in a minute. Black Swan is also good in Pure Fiction, insanely good in Pure Fiction. She's good in MOC, she's good in Simulated Universe stuff. She's just extremely good. We'll have to see if she's good in the Apocalyptic Shadow, but so far she kind of just knocks it out of the ballpark, so I feel like I have to put her in game breaking. Ruin May, shouldn't really need too much of an explanation on that one. Absolutely broken. And I do think that Robin and Sparkle are up there as well. The full AoE action advance with extra damage is so insanely good. It's crazy. And then Sparkle literally gives you more skill points. Like, come on. She wasn't not going to be in here. Plus, she has action advantage. She's pretty much like Bronya plus skill points, which is crazy because that's one of the issues that Bronya has. So we got to put her in there. And then I have Adventuring because Adventuring is the only sustain. Well, Jeopard can as well, but it's not as consistent. So unfortunately, he's not up here. That can pretty much take an attack that, hey, this will do more damage and you have more HP, and Adventuring's like, okay, I have shields and I can apply them a bunch and they're super strong, so whatever, like, who cares, And also, he can be a somewhat of a DPS, and he is also buffing the team by increasing how much crit damage enemies take, and if you have E1 gives you more crit damage. It's crazy, bro. Adventuring is such a good tank, it's crazy. So he's in game breaking. Then for the meta units, I'll try to go over this quickly. Herta is in meta because she's by far the best unit for Pure Fiction, and since that is an endgame mode, Herta deserves to be in meta. Himiko, same reason, and she can find some success, especially in the latest MOC, so she's in meta. Tingyun, insanely good support ratio, very good DPS. Jinglu and Danheng, really second and third best DPS in the game. Boot Hill, maybe not anymore. I'd say Boot Hill definitely deserves to be in the talk for top 3. I don't know who I would take out. Probably, it depends. There's a lot of like depends for that kind of stuff, so I don't get into that video. But Boot Hill, insanely, incredibly strong single target DPS. Kafka, the Dot Queen, right? Even though technically Box 1 is higher, but for other reasons. So had to put her up high. Ho-Ho, insanely good. Literally the best healer in the game, so obviously deserves meta. Pela, insanely good. AoE defense lowering is crazy good. Bronya, cleanse, action advance 100%, crit damage buff. She's a meta. Fushuan, second best sustain. It's very close, but I think Adventuring slightly beats her. And then Clara. My Clara is not super built, but Clara is a absolute menace. So I feel like she deserves meta, right? Counters can be slightly tanky. Just free damage whenever you get hit is very hard to pass up on. Then in good tier, which is slightly lower than meta, these units can definitely be meta, but I think that there's just a slight difference between them and characters who do what they do, but in meta, right? Blade, very good character. I think Blade is the absolute baseline. Now, a lot of people are going to be like, oh, Blade's better than Clara, yada yada. I put Clara in meta because when she gets hit, she instantly counters compared to Blade. Obviously, Blade heals himself and can definitely dish out some major damage. I just think I like Clara a bit better, so I might be a little bit biased on my part. Let me know in the comments what you think of that. Argenti, very good, but struggles in certain scenarios, so unfortunately he's not the pure fiction king. So he's got to go good. Lucha, very strong, however, doesn't give buffs like some of the other sustain does, so he's definitely getting knocked down a peg. Gallagher, insanely strong. However, having to have E2 for the cleanse does hurt him, and I think he should lose points for that. Plus, one nitpick I have with it is the fact that his ultimate doesn't apply the... I forgot the name of it. Pretty much you ult and then you single target, and the single target, every time you hit that enemy, will heal your team, right? If Gallagher does it, it'll heal everybody, and then if they hit it, they'll heal themselves. I feel like if the ult healed, that would be insanely nice. That's my only gripe with Gallagher, but otherwise, perfect. Asta, I'm actually getting my Asta right now, but she's still insanely good, especially for fire teams. She does fire damage. She's really good at lowering toughness with her skill, boost attack, speed, very nice unit. QQ, I have my gripes with her because bad RNG, but she is probably still the hardest hitting 4-star. I haven't used her in a while, so I have to really test how she is compared to the other 4 swords like Jue and stuff, but definitely deserves to at least being good. Jeopard, he's still good, bro. Like, the shields are still good. Even though he's not as consistent as other characters, the shield is enough to sustain people, and I've seen a lot of people run Jeopard, especially in the harder hitting OCs. Bailu, I will stand by this, that if Bailu could have access to a cleanse, if there's a light cone that makes it to where every time a character heals an ally, they get rid of a random debuff, or whatever, maybe, or however you want to word it, right? Pretty much like once per turn when you heal, they get cleansed, right? I think Bailu would be in meta, because Bailu's healing with the damage reduction, with the fact that when you take damage, you heal, is so insanely good. I feel like people definitely just think Bailu's instantly crap because you can't cleanse, but that's the only thing stopping her from being insanely broken, in my opinion. So we're putting her in good. Then Silverwolf, still insanely good, but she's single target dependent, and a lot of characters definitely want AoE stuff. That's why Pela is in meta and she's not. Otherwise, like, if you make Silverwolf AoE, instantly game breaking. Frame 1, I don't think she's ever leaving. So they had to nerf her somehow, but still an insanely good unit. Topaz, you could probably argue Topaz is in meta. I just put her in good because a lot of people are like, oh, we want dupes in her, and yada yada. And I think she's good, but not crazy enough to warrant being in meta, even though she is extremely good for follow-up tag teams. But that's just my personal opinion. Hanya, good support. Jue, good DPS. Zele, good DPS. Jingyan, good DPS. Then we got down to OK. Well, let's just scroll down all the way, right? For OK, we have Lynx, which is great, solid healer. I think Lynx is a good baseline healer. However, I think the baseline for healers is a bit lower than someone like Blade, who's like the baseline for DPSs. March for the shield and the freeze comps, but the shield's only single target, so you can't shield everybody. But, you know, you can somewhat make it work. Well, sustained DPS kind of is mostly what people run him with, at least what I see nowadays, for the slow. He's not insanely good, but I mean, you know, it's niche, so he's an okay. Misha, just like March, freeze stuff, and then break from what I've seen. I actually have never used Misha, so it's kind of hard to judge him, but based on that, I just put him in okay. Luca is an okay break unit. Gwenaifen, I feel like I definitely could put in good for the versatility, but do I put her in good? It depends, right? I feel like her herself isn't like super crazy, but she works with a bunch of units, which is nice. But her herself, I feel like I've never been shocked or surprised or like, oh wow, she's so good. She's just like, oh, she's an option that you could use on a team like Acheron. So I'm just gonna keep her in okay, honestly. Sampo, okay. Dot unit. Serval. Serval's weird. Serval, I see a lot of people for like, oh, when you need an AoE unit or you need like lightning, she's kind of like the OT2 because she's free, but I don't think she deserves to be in good. I'm sorry. It is what it is. Then the bad units, like, why would you run these? Yanqing, I'm sorry, he's so cool, but man, his damage sucks. Hook, Donhang, both of those 4 stars were kind of like, whatever when we were a couple patches into the game, so I can't imagine they fared any better after all this time. Natasha, the Underworld Doctor. Anyway, Yukong and Susheng. Yukong, you can make her work, but definitely a lot more brain power than most people are willing to put into Starro, so, and she's getting knocked down for that, bit harder to play, and her buffs aren't anything crazy. And then Susheng, I want to love Susheng, but every time I've used her, I've just been disappointed, so she goes some bad. And then Y, Arlen. If you ever use Arlen, you know why that is. Then after that, for the physical MC and the Harmony MC and the Fire MC, obviously I'm using a tier list that only has their portraits. So for physical MC, I'd say they are in bad or Y. For the Fire MC, they're in okay or good, depending on who you're running. If you're running with Akron, I'd say good. If you're not using Akron, bad, or sorry, okay. And for the Harmony MC, easily meta, debatably game breaking, just because they're the only unit with super break, but I don't think that's enough to put them in game breaking, so I'm gonna put them in meta. But if you really wanted to put Harmony MC in game breaking, I'd be okay with it, right? And then last but not least, Firefly, who should be releasing soon. I think if she's not in game breaking, then I don't know. She looks insanely strong. If it turns out she kind of sucks, meta at the least, but looking at her kit, I think she deserves to at least be here, but we'll have to see in the future. But otherwise, that'll pretty much be it for the pre-Firefly tier list. Obviously, when Firefly comes out, I will be summoning and getting her at some point, right? Because I'm trying not to spend if I don't have to. I don't think I have to. I think I'm guaranteed to get her regardless, right? As long as I do all the events. But we'll probably make another one of these after Firefly has been out for a while and like Jade's getting close to the release and we like see her full official kit. Maybe we'll change some stuff, but let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think I'm stupid? Are you gonna call me names? If you do, you're stinky and oozing your 50-50, so I'll be very happy to see how many people say, oh my god, you're so stupid, how could you put this unit in? But anyway, let me know what you think. Who would you change? Do you think Jade will be game breaking meta? Do you think Firefly will be game breaking meta? And yeah, let me know who you're subbing for. I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.